Throughout the years, there have been many popular video game protagonists, some more recognizable than others. So today, I wanted to take a look at some of my favorite characters and talk about why I like these characters as much as I do. Whether it be because of the story, design, or just because they have stuck with me over the years. If you agree with any of these characters here, let me know down in the comments and let me know if I missed one that you would put here. So without further ado, let's jump into the list of the best video game protagonists. Our first character on this list is Vaughn. Bosch? Balthier? Okay, which character is actually the main protagonist in this game? If I had to choose one, it'd probably be Balthier. He says he's the leading man, and I trust him. In all seriousness though, you could say any of the main cast in Final Fantasy XII are the main characters. But I chose Balthier just because he feels like more of a protagonist to me. When you first meet Balthier in the game, he kinda just seems like your basic thief or criminal, which is technically true, but as you progress through the game, you learn that he's more than just a thief or a sky pirate. You learn that he plays a much bigger role in the overall story of the game, which I don't want to mention here because it is kind of spoilery, but if you play through this game, you know what I'm talking about. But other than just the story, I like a lot more about him. He has a really cool design, he has an awesome personality, and plus, he has the best accent, which is why I chose him to be one of my favorite video game protagonists. Next up, we have one of my other favorite characters. It's Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil. Now, I know more people may like Chris more, but to me, Leon is way more interesting. And not only is he interesting, look at him. He's freaking cool. I wish I could be that cool. Leon Kennedy made his debut in Resident Evil 2. And in that game, he was the new cop. And the next game he was in was Resident Evil 4, where he was even better, especially after the incident in Raccoon City from 2. I think one of my favorite things about this character has to be his funny one-liners.
Who the hell are you?
You want to get ugly? Let's get ugly. Where's everyone going? Bingo?
I mean, come on, he's hilarious. It's unfortunate his one-liners kind of disappeared in Resident Evil 6, though. He was definitely way more serious in that game, which kind of made him less interesting, but he was still cool in that game. But overall, he's one of my favorite protagonists, and he's a very memorable one, too, which is why I'm putting him on this list. The next character is none other than Mario, and honestly, I just had to put him on this list. Now, he may not have the best backstory, or really any backstory at all, and most of his games is him just rescuing the princess from Bowser, but he's still very iconic and very memorable. I mean, come on, he's a plumber that can jump. What else do you need? And for a character that literally never talks except for the movies, he somehow still manages to have a very charming personality. But if I had to choose the best version of Mario, which one would I choose? I mean, we have Paper Mario, who's literally a piece of paper, and we have Mario from Mario and Luigi with his funny little gibberish. Over the years, there have been so many different versions of Mario, but if I had to choose the best one, it would probably be the basic 3D Mario. He's so simple, yet so full of character, which I think is why he's such a great character in general, and a great protagonist. And I know some people may not agree with this, but I don't care. This is my list, and I choose Mario. Another great thing about Mario is no matter what genre of game he's in, he always manages to pull it off. Whether it be the sports games he's in, or the Mario Party games, or even Mario Kart, he's very flexible in that aspect, which I just believe adds to his character even more. So overall, Mario is the perfect example of a character who doesn't have to have a good story to be the great protagonist he is, which is why I decided to put him in this list. The next character I chose is Link. Link? Link? Oh no, there's too many Links! Honestly, I just like Link overall as a protagonist, but if I had to choose one, it would probably be Twilight Princess Link. Not only do I think he's the coolest looking Link design-wise, his story is actually a lot better than some of the other Links we've had throughout the years. For example, before he became the hero in Twilight Princess, he had a whole life in Ordon Village. And I know some other Links kind of had the same thing, but not to the extent of Twilight Princess Link. I mean, Twilight Princess Link had all his friends from Ordon Village, who were reoccurring characters throughout the game, especially Ilia. But honestly, just Link in general is the perfect example of a great silent protagonist. And some of the things that give Link the most charm, especially Toon Link, is the facial expressions he makes. Some of them are just so goofy, but it gives him so much character. Another thing I really like about this character, which has kind of changed recently, is his design. And yes, I know Link's design always changes throughout the games, but I really just miss his green tunic. That's what made him stand out so much. And now in the recent games he wears blue, which is okay, but I just preferred his original green tunic that he always wore. But it's not the biggest complaint, and it doesn't prevent him from being the great protagonist that he is, which is why I definitely think he deserves a spot as one of the best protagonists in video games. The next character I chose is one I'm not sure a lot of people know about, or isn't as popular as some of the previous choices. But this next character I chose is Luke from Tales of the Abyss. I personally think this is one of the best video game protagonists we've ever had. And this may be a hot take, but just let me explain. Luke is a character that has spent the majority of his life sheltered inside the castle after getting kidnapped at a young age. And because of this, he's kind of annoying and entitled. And overall just kind of acts like an annoying little brat. He's pretty much someone you wouldn't expect to be a good protagonist. And at one point in the story, his childish actions kind of cause something to go down. And at this point, the rest of the party just kind of hates this guy. But that's the point when this character decides to change and work to make himself a better person. And it takes some time, but by the end of the story, this character doesn't even seem like the same character. He goes from being a sheltered, spoiled brat to becoming someone you could actually rely on, which is just a complete 180. So this is why I personally think Luke has one of the best character developments in any game ever, and also makes him just a strong protagonist. And another cool thing too is when he decides to change, he cuts his hair and makes it shorter, which is pretty cool. But other than just this character's story, his design is really good too, and his long red hair really makes him stand out. But yeah, overall, I just really like this character as a whole, which is why I think he's the best fit to be one of the best protagonists in video games. So there you have it. There was 5 of my favorite protagonists. And this is by no means all of my favorite protagonists. Just the top 5. If you want to see me talk about some more of my favorite protagonists, let me know down in the comments below. There are still so many really good protagonists I could talk about. Maybe not as good as the ones I've listed here today, but some that still stand out. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite protagonist is, and if I included him on this list or not. And if you made it all the way to the end, thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up. We do other stuff on the channel too, like tier list, and we play the newest games that have come out. But I think that's going to do it in this video. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.